Good evening, adventurers, and back to Maze, Master of Mazes Carl. With me, as always, is my son, apprentice Stephen.
Hey.
This is MazeCast episode number 29. We are recording this about a week and a half, just shy of 2 weeks after we recorded our anniversary episode.
Mm,
Stephen's been out of town. He has been a busy little apprentice.
yep.
Um, but a very productive apprentice.
I try.
So we've got a bunch of new recaps up for you guys on the website. We've got our anniversary episode is up this week, and we've got some other things that'll be in the works for you guys very shortly. So stay tuned for those. But let's jump into now playing
Hmm.
Kingdom of Keshinar. We played a week ago yesterday, so last Friday, and the 20. Oh, I don't know what day it was. The 21st, I think it was.
Hmm.
It was a great game. We had a lot of fun. The adventurers had a wish, and they had to decide what they wanted to do with it. I think they wasted it because they jumped the gun. I set up something to make it look like they were stranded in the desert. They freaked out. They burned the only wish they had, which was their kind of ace in the hole that was given to them by the Pharaoh to teleport home. So Jeannie said bye bye, and that's all she wrote. But I will have that in the recap for you guys this week to take a look at. But the recap for the previous episode is up on our website now if you want to check that out.
Hmm.
Our Master and Apprentice game, we played a couple ago, 2 weeks ago today, as a matter of fact.
Hmm.
We didn't get to play last week because Josh was out of town, and we didn't get to play this weekend because Nathan is out. But we are penciled in for right now for next Saturday, the 6th. So be on the lookout for that. The recap from our May 16th episode is up on the website now. It is a lot of fun, so give it a read. Let us know what you guys think.
Hmm.
We'll have a link down in the show notes for you guys to check that out.
Yep.
The Order of the Flagon. We played this past Sunday, the Sunday prior to Memorial Day. We actually ran a little long. Normally run 3-hour sessions. When we got to the end of 3 hours, I ran about 3 hours, 15 minutes. I had a cliffhanger, and then they all begged me to play for another hour. So we played for another hour. So we got in 4 hours for that session. I do have a recap for the previous session up for you guys to take a look at. I will get the recap up of this past session, which was mostly a shopping episode. So I'm just going to bullet point that down into like a small paragraph for the recap of our next session. We are tentatively scheduled for tomorrow. It's kind of hinged on one of our players' son's baseball schedule and how he does today. If he wins all of his games, he will be playing tomorrow. So that will basically boot our Order of the Flagon for a week, possibly 2 weeks, but we'll see. But we're wishing him good luck in his playoffs games
Hmm.
today.
Hmm.
So um, let's get into some TTRPG news. There is something here that cites our resident horror fan, The Apprentice. So I'm going to hand the reins over to Stephen.
Yeah. The Ravenloft Horrors Within is coming soon. It seems like when we talked about it with the report card one or first quarter, it felt like June felt like forever ago or forever away, and now it's here. Um, but there's some new info about kind of some of the features that they're baking into the expansion or module, whatever you want to call it, season. I guess officially now it's a
But
season.
I
Um,
think it's part of the horror season for sure.
and they're kind of delving into, I guess they're encouraging players to make their own Dark Lord, which I would argue you could always have done. But
Yeah, yeah.
they're trying to, instead of just assuming people will break out of their shell and do some of these things on their own, they're giving you some tools and some ideas and some info onto how to invent your own Dark Lord, what their plane is
Right.
like, why their plane exists, why they are the Dark Lord, why they're evil, or at least against you. I would argue that not all the Dark Lords are inherently evil; they're just not on your team. Um,
True.
but anyway, they're dedicating some of the book to that, which I think is good. But as more info about the books come out, obviously people who are very well read on the old books are starting to notice more and more that the books seem like they have some of the older info in them. Um, again, I was younger with Curse of Strahd, so a lot of this stuff will be new or new-ish to me, unless I heard about it through Dad. But a lot of folks like Dad and other folks that he talks to and watches on the internet are like, "Hey, wait a second, a lot of this stuff has been out." So I don't know if Dad wants to expand on that, but I'm hearing
Yeah,
that too.
we're going to link down the show notes to a video our friend over at Gamemasters.
Hmm.
He put up a video this past week of kind of a review of the book or the information that's been released about the book so far.
Mm-hmm.
There is speculation that the Taroka deck that they released with the book is the same Taroka deck that was offered versus Strahd came out. I own that Taroka deck, which was really fun when we played versus Strahd to utilize that deck for players. But it may be updated. Who knows? There's also talk that they're going to be reusing one of the Dragon Delves maps.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know why, but I mean, again, it could be new, it could be refreshed. I don't know. I don't have the book, so I'm not going to speculate. But if it is recycling of material to kind of cut corners or to rush something to print, not a fan of that.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll wait and see. We'll probably pick up either Stephen or myself. Will pick up the book. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Stephen because of the next thing he's going to go into. But I'll give it back over to Stephen.
Yeah, I've already ordered it. The
There
Ravenloft
you go.
book. Yeah, I've got it. I do want to for the next segment. It's our Kickstarter segment. I do want to shout out Flintlock and Fog. Last time we
Absolutely.
recorded, they were almost towards the end of their Kickstarter, and they were a little bit away from their goal, and they hit it like literally last minute, last
The
mile.
last hour, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, so super happy for that project to be funded. It is one of the projects that kind of was at the inception of our own project here and kind of what we were doing. And we've been keeping tabs on it, talking to them, talking to everybody involved over there, talking about it here. But Dad and I both backed it at the highest level, so we're gonna have all of the goods there. So get ready for an unboxing from us. Get ready for
Absolutely.
probably and I don't want to for sure put it into the universe, but I'm sure maybe we'll do like a one shot or like a short campaign when the game comes
Yeah.
out to help promote and help show why it's such a fun game. Um, while I'm on this subject, this is not in my notes here, but I did want to say that officially yesterday I backed the Division TTRPG on Kickstarter.
Yep.
And I have the highest edition, so I'm going to get the DM's book, the Agent's book, which is basically like the player book, and all of the bells and whistles there. So I'll probably do a unboxing of that too. As I've talked about on the show, I'm a huge Division fan. I play it all the time on my Steam Deck when I'm not home, on my computer when I am home. I love it. It's fun. The world is fun. It's very real and gritty, and I can't wait to see what that translates to as far as the TTRPG. It is its own system. So there's like special dice that are used in it and all kinds of stuff. Um,
Yeah.
the level I backed and the add-ons that I picked, I have a bunch of dice, and some of the coolest dice I've seen are the Rogue Agent dice. If you've never played the game, there's Rogue Agents, which are kind of like evil versions of the Division
Yeah.
agents.
Yeah.
Depending on what lore you believe, some people actually say the Rogue Agents are the good guys, and the Division is corrupt, and but who cares? The dice are very cool. They're black with like almost like luminescent red paint in the numbers. And these
Okay.
dice even have like symbols on them that are pass, fail, and certain skill checks that I just think they look really fun. So I'm looking
Mm-hmm.
forward to getting the books, reading through them. Dad's got a copy of like the quick start guide, which comes with some pre-made characters that we'll probably look through and maybe do a one shot of that when it drops as well.
Yep.
Um, Back to what Dad was talking about, I'm a big horror guy, and what I'm very excited about is the Clayface movie. If
Yep.
that's what we were
Well,
talking about, maybe I'm
before
jumping
we,
ahead.
nope, we're jumping ahead.
Sorry,
Before we jump into that,
hit me.
we were talking about the Ravenloft book. I know you're
Sure,
super
sure.
excited about the fact there's a Cthulhu
Oh, true.
in it.
I totally forgot we
Yeah.
just talked about that. So,
Yes.
yeah, official, which is so interesting. But official
Yeah.
Cthulhu has a stat block, and I'm
He's going to be
assuming,
in Ravenloft.
yeah, I'm assuming he'll
It's,
have his own dread
oh, he's got to
domain.
have. He's got to have his own red domain.
But
Got to, and it's got to be like a seaside town, right? I mean,
well,
it's
I
got to
mean,
be.
dude, if they drop like an Innsmouth domain, like we have to play that. Even a one shot, like a Halloween one
Absolutely.
shot. I mean, like that's a
Sounds
good
like a pretty good
idea.
idea to
But
me.
yeah, I've got the big book. I've got the cool ass book with the very cool collectors, everything. I'm not a DM, but I wanted it. So that's coming. Cthulhu has a stat
And
block. Honestly, what you watch? So you watched the video where the guy was talking about it?
I did watch the video where the guy was talking about it. He was
He
super excited.
so he's
Gamemaster was definitely excited about Cthulhu.
his well, in my Cthulhu's so overpowered, right? Like, so how
Yeah.
do you put a character like that on a stat? Because I saw the comments, people are like,
You
he's not
can't.
strong enough, and it's like,
No,
well,
that's an end boss, end world scenario. You just can't. You can't throw Cthulhu on the board and have your
Well,
players stay
and a
safe.
lot of the people in the comments were like, like just looking at it would make you mad. Why does he even have attacks?
Yes.
And well, here's my problem. He, I'm a horror clicks fan, and Cthulhu
Yep.
had a horror click.
A
I
massive horror.
I own it. I have it.
Yep.
I have like one of the 500 or however many there were.
Yep. Yeah, there wasn't very many.
And his horror. The same thing happened when he came out in HorrorClix. People are like, "Oh my God, he's not strong enough." And it's like, well, if you feel like that, just pretend it's an Avatar Cthulhu. Just pretend like, oh, this
Yeah.
is a projection. This is, because
Right.
like, if it was actual Cthulhu, there is no fighting back against it.
There's no
Like,
fighting it. Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to say. Cthulhu, as the elder god, he is an eldritch horror, and there's just no fighting him. You
Yeah, yeah,
can't fight Cthulhu. What your party should do is endeavor to keep Cthulhu asleep.
yeah.
Maybe have a cult of Cthulhu that are trying to, basically perform a ritual that will finally awaken him, unleash
Hmm.
him on the world. And then maybe what you have is maybe he starts to stir, and as he does, his dreams form a avatar of Cthulhu.
Yeah, like abstract
An
entities.
aspect.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
it's just an aspect. It's
Hmm.
it's not as large. It's not nearly as powerful, but it's a decent BDEG
What?
for a
How?
short-term campaign or something.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the way that I picture the best movie representation, and this will sound like not related, but it kind of is how they
Mhm.
beat Galactus in the new Fantastic Four movie.
Yes.
Because they're
Yeah.
like, we can't beat him. Like,
Yeah.
there's no way we can, so we have to just find a
Yeah.
way to misdirect him, remove him,
Yeah.
and they dropped him
Send
through
him
that
somewhere
portal.
else.
And yeah, and like
Yeah.
the Silver Surfer, supposedly, gave
So
up her
far, so
life
good. Yeah.
to
Yep.
just to remove him from our immediate space for a little while. He'll be back, I'm sure. But like
Oh,
that is how
absolutely.
you handle a Cthulhu aspect in a game is like we're not going to
Yes.
beat him, we cannot stop him. We just have to misdirect him or like the Doctor Strange Dormammu thing, right? Where he just beat him
Yeah.
by, just being smarter than he was or cunning.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm excited for it.
Playing his strengths and turning them into weaknesses.
Yeah, so I'm excited for that. I think a Lovecraftian domain is obviously like so easy to put together and for people to just eat up. I mean, the whole like the D&D Magic the Gathering multiverse deal, the planes of existence. It makes sense that in between the planes there's this like chaos domain that these things
Right.
might dwell, and it's so perfect. So I
Yeah.
hope I hope people enjoy it as much as I know we're going to.
Oh
But
yeah.
back to the unscheduled program, Clayface. That is
Playface.
the new. I guess a standalone movie, right? It's going to be its own
It's going to be a
deal.
standalone movie. I don't know that it's going to be separate. First, I don't think they've really committed one way or another.
I know it's going to be
I
rated
think
R.
it's going to
That's
be.
what I do
I
know.
think it's going to be kind of like Craven was to the Marvel universe. It was
Yeah,
kind of. It talks about the Marvel universe, but
it
it's
plays
kind
with
of
it, but it never
also
really says.
right.
Yeah.
I'm imagining Clayface will be something like that.
Hmm.
I imagine maybe at the end there'll be like an appearance of Batman or maybe Batman in his shadows or something, which would be neat.
Hmm.
They're also speculating that he's going to start out as like a person that's cursed
Sure.
with this clay that turns him malleable so he
Hmm.
can change his appearance. Um, and then he starts out good but becomes evil. So kind of like a fallen or a dark hero. I could kind of see that. I think that
I,
would be fun.
yeah, I mean Harvey
I'd
Dent's
like to
kind of
see
the
them
same deal,
explore.
right? Like a
Yeah, I'd
fallen
like to see
hero.
them. Yeah, I'd like to see them explore that aspect. So I'm hesitantly optimistic about the movie, but we'll see.
Well, I
We'll
think the
still see.
best projects D&D, or sorry, DC has done
Mhm.
is the thing like the Joker, the first Joker. Got the second one was
Right,
miserable, and it was miserable on purpose because they didn't want to do a second one, and the studio forced them to. So they said okay, and
right,
they made a terrible movie. And
yeah,
I'll never be convinced that's not what they did. But everything that they've done, kind of these abstract one-shot Elseworld stories, are always the best ones. I mean, the connected universe, they
yeah,
just never did it as well as the Avengers did it. And with
no,
Avengers Doomsday coming out, I mean, even if you don't really agree with the story, everyone's going to watch that movie because everyone wants to know what the hell's going on. Um,
well, and you had that Easter egg at the end of Fantastic. Doom is setting up for
yeah,
the final
Doom is
battle.
there. And I mean, honestly, like, I thought one of the better Marvel movies in recent memory was Thunderbolts, and they had the Sentry slash the Void in that, and now he's got to play into it, right? So
I would hope
there's a
because
lot going on.
Thunderbolt is really good. I think that people I think the people that kind of crap on that movie are doing it a
The
disservice. I think it
Thunderbolts
was
was the best Marvel movie I've seen in years. Like, it was great. It was fun. It was goofy. They played jokes on each other, but also like the action scenes were insane. I thought they did
yeah,
Sentry really well. I mean, he's
I think so.
basically the Sentry from the comic
He's
books.
nuts.
And
Yeah, he's nuts.
when he snaps to that void and he's just like, I love how they visually depicted like, oh, he's the void now, because he's just like, it looks like the screen got cut out around him. There's just no color,
Yeah,
just his white bead eyes, and I'm like, oh my god, it's the void.
yeah,
And he's like snapping people into shadows, and it's like, oh shit, like you know,
yeah.
and people
Having
don't
to fight
realize like
that.
the void is infinitely scarier than Thanos with or without the gauntlet. It doesn't matter. Like the
Oh yeah,
void's stronger than that. So
yeah.
anyway,
It's scary.
I'm interested to see. But anyways, DC, I feel like their bread and butter is these character pieces like the Joker.
Yep.
So in my if
So
they were like, hey Steven, you're nobody, but we're gonna have you direct Clayface, I would say, okay. I don't know why you picked me, but okay. Um, make the movie The Thing, but he's Clay and not an alien. That's what I think. Make the
I
movie
like
a
it.
body horror movie. This
Oh
dude,
yeah.
like, make this a curse or whatever, and one day he wakes up and his body's literally clay. You have to imagine if that happens, like, it takes a lot of like control and understanding of your power or curse to
Mhm.
figure out how to mold yourself back into a human-looking person.
Right.
So if the movie's from the aspect of like this dude gets like he's a victim of this and he's literally living clay now, imagine like the cool body horror aspects of it. Of like
Oh yeah.
he can't keep himself together and he's becoming these like amorphous looking monster things reminiscent of The Thing, the movie The Thing.
Yeah.
And if they
Yeah.
did something like that and basically it drives him mad and that's why he's a villain because he's like a broken person who can't, that would
Right.
be insane. That would be so sick. Um,
But let's see if you're putting rounds on par.
I hope. I mean,
I feel
honestly,
like it's very
outside of
well.
that, I don't know how they would make it like an R-rated film, and also like he's an anti-hero or like a fallen hero. I don't know how they would do it without diving into that mental
Body horror.
aspect
Yeah.
of it. Yeah.
Absolutely. Some other news: Brandon Sanderson's
Yeah.
Cosmere
Hmm.
is coming to Apple TV.
Yep.
I'm sad now. I'm gonna have to get Apple TV. But,
Oh.
um,
Yeah. Go
well,
ahead. Go ahead. I was just gonna say we just talked about another show on Apple TV that I'll bring up after
we
this.
sure
But
did. But Mistborn
yep.
is apparently going to become a film.
Yep.
There's no release date for it, and they're saying that it may be dependent on how well Cosmere does as a television show. So
Yeah.
I'm thinking that's just smart business. See how Cosmere does. If it gets a
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
rating, it looks like there's potential. And if the fans turn out the way the fans could, then yeah, there may be a movie for Mistborn, which I think will be awesome.
Yeah, I've always argued, you know, Mistborn is incredible. That whole series is very good. The Stormlight Archives, The Way of Kings. I mean, that book is the closest I've ever felt to a Lord of the Rings level book. I mean, Tolkien will
But
never be top to me, but like, you know, this is close. And I've always thought like that would be a great. I like shows for those kind of books because it gives them time to really dive into the lore. A movie's tough because you have to cram everything in, like 2 hours. You know,
right,
um, I'll feel a lot better if like he does Mistborn the movie and like basically does like Mistborn part one, two, three, and maybe even director's cuts to really flesh it out because it is a lot going on. A lot of it's Dune adjacent where there's a lot of politics and a lot of cast and like different tiers of basically living and people and a lot of just intergovernment interspecies politics going on. It's complicated.
right.
It's not just like, oh, there's a hero in a village and he's gonna kill the king. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So Sanderson's obviously a legend. He's been most all his books have been incredible. So I mean, Apple, I don't know how out of everyone Apple landed that. I mean, I feel like Apple TV has hits here and
Big
there,
win.
but like that is a big one. And what I was going to go to next is a movie that I've basically been promoting, called Widow's Bay. And I haven't been this like hooked onto an like every episode like watching multiple in a row, and I didn't even know what the show was. So someone at work had told me, "Oh, you should watch Widow's Bay," and I recommended the show From to them. Which, if you haven't seen From, you should watch From.
From it amazing.
And this guy at work, I recommended him From like 2 years ago, and he was like, dude, you had me watch From, and I was hooked and watched the whole thing in like a weekend. This show's a lot like From, and I'm like, oh yeah, right. But like, I kind of didn't put a lot of fire on it. And then I was at home one day, everyone was kind of out, and I had like a free hour or two, and I'm like, oh, let me put on that show that he said. And I watched 3 episodes without getting up. Watched 3 episodes in a row, and I thought the show was like had been out. I didn't just let it go by me, and lo and behold, the show is like coming out like even right now. It's still every Wednesday. So there was only 3 episodes out at the time. So I hit the 3rd episode, I blow through it, leaves on a huge cliffhanger, and then Ted Lasso comes on. And I'm like, what the hell is this bullshit? Like, I want my show back. And it turns out there wasn't another episode because it's still coming.
Right.
I think we're on episode 6 this coming Wednesday. It is incredible. It is very from like, if you liked Wayward Pines, it's a lot like that.
Wayward Pines was amazing.
It's a suspense thriller. Like, there's something bigger going on here that I can't really explain. And if you like shows like Mike Flanagan's anthology on Netflix, this really falls into the same realm as like the Midnight Mass show, which is like an island. They're on like a secluded island, and it's very like nautical coastal horror, like folk horror almost. And this goes,
some
I mean,
Superman vibes to it.
yeah, and like there's something about like when a horror or like a thriller takes place on like an island, like another great movie is called The Apostle, which was on Netflix. That movie was great. But when like horror takes place on an island, it adds another layer because like isolation. Yeah, I mean this island is very much like there's a ferry that comes on and leaves, and like unless you have a plane, you can't really leave in the middle of the night. So this falls into that same boat. Think Lighthouse. Think Cold Skin. All those classic Lovecraftian deals. The show's fantastic. I would highly recommend it. Like I said, episode 6 is coming out, I believe. The last episode was insane. Like, I literally can't get over it. It's also a good one for folks that don't love just, like, those shows that just, like, from the biggest complaint I had from people that I recommended it to was the first episode, like, the very end. There was so much, it was, like, ultra violent at the end. Right. And some people, even I'm not sensitive to it, but after a while, it gets kind of old because it's like, oh, this is just you're setting up an excuse to just blow somebody up. That's pretty much what you're doing. And after a while, you see that coming from a mile away, and it's like, okay, like that's not interesting. Whereas this is setting up like an overarching story through like little plot points that like you get this foreboding feeling like it's right behind me, isn't it? Like that feeling is there the entire show. Where it's like, oh, there's something horrible like looming above this island, and I don't understand it, and that's why it's scary. It's because it's like the Lovecraftian playbook of like cosmic horror, unknowable, like the fear of the unknown, the fear of just something so much bigger than you couldn't comprehend it. That is this show. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, you should watch this show.
You should watch it. Yep, I'm definitely going to watch it after Steven told me about it before we started recording. I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll put that on my watch list because I'm out of stuff to watch right now.
Yeah, it's great. And then
speaking of disappointing, why was The Punisher One Last Kill only one episode 50 minutes long?
Yeah, that sucks.
That's not a movie, and that's not a television series.
Yeah,
I loved it. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I'm like, when is episode 2 coming out? People, I'm sorry, what? And it's not even 2 hours long. That's disappointing.
Yeah.
But I'm excited to see what they're going to do with the character because John Berthenol has said that he is interested.
Yeah.
So long as he has creative control, and he had creative control for One Last Kill, and I think he did a great job.
Yeah, he trained with some serious dudes for that show.
Yes.
Whatever you would call that. I mean, there was a lot of people on YouTube talking about him training with like Navy SEALs, Tier 1. I mean,
training,
yeah, yeah, he's one of the actors that is like. It seems like he is a classical actor where when he gets into a movie, he like. It's not quite method acting, but he just like hyper fixates on all of the things he needs to do for that role. I mean, he did it in Wind River. He was incredible in that movie too.
That movie was amazing.
He was a guy working on like I can't remember what the job, like some kind of desolate like security job in the middle of Alaska doing something, probably for some like oil refinery or something. I can't remember what it was. And he like went up there and lived for like 3 months because he's like, I want to know what it's like. I just want to know. I just want to understand like what my character would be mentally, which I guess is kind of method acting. But he doesn't just like, some method actors is like, oh, I stay in a hotel room for 3 months and I read the script and that's how like no. Yeah. He's like, I'm gonna go out to Alaska in the freezing cold in a trailer for like 3 months, and like that's how. And like he just seems like one of those guys that like really means it. And also he doesn't seem like a piece of shit, which is like hard to find in Hollywood anymore. I feel like.
It really is.
But I was going to quick note here, which this news came to us while I was on the road. We've been playing a lot of Helldivers. If I have my way after this episode, we're probably going to play some Helldivers. There's a 40K crossover event happening in Helldivers.
Yep.
Warhammer
It's going
40K.
to be a new acquisition.
And
it's a new war bond.
I have been saying since this game came out, that is like the perfect crossover to have, like either that or somehow, some way, even though Starship Troopers has their own game already, if they would do a crossover into Helldivers, it would be perfect.
Oh, like Starship Troopers bond, that would be awesome.
That would be sick, but like the 40K, dude, and like apparently there's going to be Cadians is going to be the first one. I think they said there's going to be a series of 3 of them.
Yeah.
I have to imagine with the success of Space Marine 2 and just the overall success of 40K since Space Marine came out and Henry Cavill's doing the show, which I'm pretty sure they confirmed is going to be about the Ultramarines, which are, you know, when you think of Space Marines, it's the blue guys. That's what everyone likes to say. I'm a Blood Angels guy. I think Space Marines are fucking lame, but or Ultramarines. I mean, they're just like the stereotypical, like, we're the best at everything, and it's like boring, you know. But
like, Navy SEALs were cool when people first learned about Navy SEAls in the 80s. Every movie.
Yeah, now it's like overdone, and like they're
like,
so. I mean, 40K is so like the Blood Angels are awesome because you know their Primarch is Sanguinius, and he was like this. He literally had wings like an angel, but he was also like kind of a vampire and would get over. You know, he was the first of his kind to get over the bloodlust and be able to control it. But like since he's dead, like his gene seed, which is the Blood Angels Legion, they all are afflicted by the blood rage, so they go into this black rage, and they'll see everyone, every enemy, every friendly near them as Horus, who killed Sanguinius, and they'll go into this rage. And like that's part of like their whole deal is like they're incredible fighters, but they're susceptible to this frenzy basically. And then you have like the Imperial Fist. Like one of my other favorites are the what are they called? The Black Templars. I mean, there's and like the Dark Angels. There's so many fun things that they could do. I'm sure they'll do Ultramarines because everybody does, but I hope they do some other stuff, some more abstract stuff. It'd be really cool to see.
Yeah. Even my wife is into it with the Sisters of Battle.
Oh yeah, so. I mean, yeah, like they've done some like truly horrific shit. But I mean, you know, 40K is just such a fun universe to play with, and I mean, Helldivers is like.
Oh my lord! Holy crap!
Well, I mean, also like you know, again with the Starship Troopers play right into the Terminator thing. Well. The automatons and Helldivers play right into there's a war before 40K. It was like the 31st millennium where AI, kind of like Dune, where AI is outlawed in the 40K universe because humans, you know, they've progressed so far and then AI turned on them, so they've like outlawed like cyborgs and AI. That plays right into the automatons and Helldivers. Like they could do a whole like major order around the automatons and like they could do. I mean, it would just fit right in.
Yeah, 100%.
But yeah, no, I'll stop yapping about that. I can't wait till that comes out. I don't know if there's a date, but it's soon. So
it's soon. I think they said second quarter maybe.
Yeah.
I want to say it's about the end of summer maybe, but I know people are excited about it. People are talking about it. I've been playing some Helldivers.
It's just so fun. Yeah, it's so fun.
It's so much fun and it's kind of addictive, but I've been having a blast with it. So if you haven't checked out Helldivers 2. Just be forewarned, you're going to want to follow it out.
Yep, so, pretty much.
Especially because it's based around squad play, and if you got 3 people you can play with, it's amazing.
Yep.
So that is all that we have for you guys this week.
Mm-hmm.
We are going to bid you guys a good night. Mm-hmm. We appreciate you guys sticking with us as long as you have. We would love it if you guys would leave us a comment down in the comment section. Share this video with friends, and let's hit that like button and subscribe if you haven't already subscribed to the channel. Mm-hmm. We would love to hear from you guys and get this little piece of the universe out there to some more people and get some interaction. But happy Saturday night. I hope you guys are all having a great day and a great weekend. And I hope you all are playing a lot of video games and or TTRPGs and have a great time. So have a good evening, guys. We'll talk to you soon.
See you later.
Good night.